Well, hello and welcome to Cyclomania. Today I am going to cover the topic about bicycle saddle or bicycle seat. All right? It's an important topic because it's almost a daily asked question at my showroom. So I laugh because it costs me money in the sense that I could be selling a lot of saddles to people, but I choose not to for the reasons you'll find out. And so when people walk into the showroom, most of the time they say, "Hey, do you have a big bicycle seat? I'm a big guy. I need a big bicycle seat." Most of the guys are not big. Or do you have a comfortable bicycle seat? So when I hear these questions, normally about 99% of the time I know the reason, but I pursue it with two or three more questions just to make sure that it's not the reason that I think it is. So I asked them, "Did you just recently buy a bicycle?" And about 95% of the people will say yes. And the other 4% would say, "No, actually, it was my uncle's bike, or my mother's bike, or my father's bike, or my brother's bike, somebody that didn't use it. So I asked them and they gave it to me." So now here we have a couple of problems with this situation, whether they got the bike new or they got the bike pre-owned from somebody. In most cases, the bike does not even fit them, because if the shop cannot help you with setting your seat right, then chances are they even got you the wrong bike. Okay? And if they got the bike from their brother or mother or sister or uncle, whatever it is, it's possible that the bike is also not their size. Okay? But the prime reason why they have pain will be the next question. So I asked them, does the pain come immediately when you get on the bike? Which would mean there's one reason. Does the pain come after 5 minutes of riding the bike? Or does it come way after you start riding the bike? Again, here, 95% of the people will say it comes about 5 minutes after. This means that the bicycle seat height, the saddle post, was not raised according to the rider's height. Therefore, what happened is the rider is riding and they're sitting on the saddle in such a way that their veins, blood veins, are blocked over here. So after 5 minutes, they start getting pain. All right? So that is the reason. Now, if the seat was raised accordingly, then they would sit in such a way that their tailbone is touching down and they're able to pedal properly, causing less stress to the knees and also not having blood circulation problems here. Normally, there are other things that we need to set up for these people when they come in. So that is the 95% of the time, that is the problem. Okay? In most cases, I just tell them, "Please bring your bike in. We will set it up for you and you'll be fine." And they would say, "I set it up." "How did you set your bike up for your height?" "I saw a video that says it should be according to my waistline." I have seen this video and I think it's the most misleading video on the internet. Okay. First of all, you are not that person. You're not as tall as that person. You're not riding the exact bike that that person is riding. And the crank arm is not exactly the same. If you are riding the exact bike he's riding with the same crank arm, and you are as tall as him, and your inseam is exact, that procedure should work for you. It is a lucky coincidence that this person who has put videos is riding a geometry or two, maybe from two different companies that have the identical geometry, and they are offering the same crank arm length, to where when he measures the seat height, he's just perfect on the bike. But for most people, for example, if you have short legs and you follow this, what will happen is, first of all, the frame will be wrong for you because you have a long torso, which means you need to have a bigger frame. Secondly, the crank arm might be too long, okay, which means that your knees will be way bent when you're riding. Okay, so you need to leave this to somebody who knows about this, okay, in some shop that can do this for you. Okay. Anyway, so these people come in with their bikes and we set their saddle height, and they never come back to buy the saddles that I'm offering. So that's where I say I lose money sometime. But it's not about getting them a saddle. I could get another saddle for them, and if they just install it, they will not cure the problem unless there was a difference of 1 centi or something like that, and that the seat that I gave them raised up their height by that 1 centi, and it solved their problems. And it does happen sometimes that somebody would go home and just simply change and they have no problem. But that is not the solution. All right. So then once this is fixed, we don't see the customers. They're happy. Of course, we know that we have to do a lot of other things for them before they can enjoy the bike. And then when they enjoy the bike, we're happy because that's one more person that will be on the bike and spread good news that they got benefit of riding the bike instead of just selling them a saddle that will not actually help them in the long run. So some people say, I'm a big guy, I need a big seat. So I look at them, I say, just hold on a moment. Just hold on a moment. I go and bring my phone, and I offer my phone up. I said, there is this guy that I love, okay? He's a big guy. He's a Hispanic guy. His name, I believe, is Rafael. Rafael. Now, I love this guy because, first of all, he's very lively. Number two is he is big. Nowadays people don't want to call you fat. No, they want to call you big. He's big guy, but he is very comfortable in his body. What do I mean? He's a big guy. He does things that regular fat people cannot do. They're not physically fit. He's physically fit. He rides road bikes. He rides mountain bikes, and he's comfortable in his body, and he's happy. There are many people who are overweight. They're not happy. They cannot do things. They cannot walk. They're in pain. This guy is not like that. You have to watch his videos. He's on Instagram, Rafael. Okay, so I showed the video of Rafael, and people look at it, and they go, no, I'm not as big as this guy. I said, okay, watch him ride. So Rafael rides, and they see his saddle, and they say, oh, this is just like my saddle. I said, exactly, because if you, Rafael, and myself go to a place that is under famine, we will return, if we return, after 3 weeks or a month, we will all be very skinny, past an anorexic state, and our tailbones will be the same. Our skeleton will be the same. He doesn't have a fat skeleton and you have a thin skeleton. Our skeletons are the same whether you're fat or thin. Okay, so the tailbone is going to be the same for him and you and I. So this seat is for you. Now let me give you another situation. The seat that you want cost only about 5 reals. That's about $12 or so. All right. The seat that you have on your 250 real bike costs about 18 reals. Now think about it. Why did the manufacturer put an 18 real thing on seat or saddle on your bike instead of putting a 5 real? He would make more money, right? They go, yes. I said, exactly. Because they created this bike. They have created the geometry. They have put how the rider height, how they're supposed to sit, how everything is supposed to interact. This seat is the best for that. Okay? So don't change it. And people go out, they never come back. Now, there are situations when you have to change your bike seat. Okay? And I'll cover the situations now. The first one, which is for us going to be the common one. Okay? This is for somebody that would ride a bike for maybe 30 minutes, 45 minutes, and they don't get the butt pain that you need to replace the seat for, or the butt pain where the people come in and say, I need to change my seat because I got a butt pain. Those people, we need to raise their seat according to their height, and they're fine, okay? Now, these people ride for much longer than 5 minutes. They don't have a pain, but they have another pain, okay? Rather, it's not a pain. They finish the ride, and they have a situation. They want to go pee, but they cannot feel their private part. Their private part feels like it doesn't exist, okay? Now, these people actually need help. There is a seat, or saddles we call them, on a bike. So this saddle has a split in the middle, okay? Now, your current saddle already has a sort of a dip in the middle. That's to address 85% of the people. This 13 to 75% of men and women who experience this extra problem where a nerve is pressed and they feel their private parts are not there, there are saddles that are split. Now, some manufacturers offer the first seat on the bike as that, okay? But some manufacturers don't, because they go for the majority, which is 80 something percent. So if you have this situation, then you know that you need a saddle that's split in the middle. Now, if you're not having a butt pain, then what you want to do is get an identical size saddle that matches yours, but it's just split in the middle, and you need to leave it at the same height. Okay. Now, if you're riding and you do get a butt pain, then you just need to adjust your seat. So before you remove the seat, you need to measure from the top center of the seat or saddle to the middle of the crank arm, the bottom bracket. When you've done that and you put the new saddle, you need to make sure that they're same height, okay, so you don't get any new pains. That's for you. Now, who else needs to change their saddle? If you've had your bike for 4, 5, or 6 years, you're riding it, now this is a situation like your car or your house, the sofas in your house or in the office. After a while, you just sit and they just suck you in, and you have difficulty getting up and all that stuff. In that case, your whole body is complaining, right? In the case of a saddle of the bike, your butt will start complaining, okay, because that's the only portion that's sitting on there. So in this situation, you need to get a new, firmer seat, just like your seat was when it was new. And when I say seat here, I mean to say saddle, but I use the word seat because majority of the people who come in, they're not bike specialists, they don't know bike terminologies, they just say a seat, okay, so your saddle. So this is the second person that needs to change their saddle. The third person that needs to change their saddle is somebody with a sciatica problem. If you have sciatica problem, you might need a seat. Talk to us at Cyclomania. We might need to get you a memory foam seat that will help you as well. And older people, as you age, you start losing mass. The muscle mass is going off. So now you have your bones that sit everywhere. So you may need a gel seat, okay? So the other person needs memory foam, you may need a gel seat, all right? And for those of you who think, maybe I just need to put a cover on my bike, please don't. Because just like I mentioned, when you have an old sofa, old car seat, old something, you go and change it because everything is gone in. And in those places, you don't even move. Now you're coming to a bicycle where you have a lot of movement on your hip, right? And then you're going to put a saddle cover that's going to move. That's not good for you. In the long run, it's going to hurt your back. All right? So I hope in this short video, I was able to cover the question about bike saddles or seat. Do you need a big saddle just because you have butt pain? Or do you need to get your seat adjusted? The answer is you need to get your seat height adjusted, and it's not based upon how high the seat is from your waist. It's based upon your foot resting on the pedal, okay, and how the seat is raised. So go to a bicycle shop near you, let them help you with that, and you will enjoy bike riding, and you'll tell all your friends and family to get on the bike. With that said, bye-bye. See you later at Cyclomania YouTube channel. Have a blessed day.